Appraisals and inspections.
Sure.
What is the difference? So today's podcast is actually that. We're going to talk about the difference between an appraisal and an inspection, because some buyers think it's the same thing. They say, "Oh yeah, I'm getting an appraisal." They think that's the actual inspection, which is not.
Correct.
So
it's
what is the
not the
difference?
same thing?
It's not the same. So an appraisal is something totally different from a home inspection.
Gotcha. Now, what comes first?
The chicken or the egg? So normally what comes first is the inspection, right? So you get the offer accepted. After that, you're going to conduct an inspection by a by a licensed inspector who is trained by the Texas Real Estate Commission.
Correct.
They have to be licensed through them. That's through TREC. And these guys are trained to do home inspections. They do not give value on a home. That's probably the biggest difference. Appraisal is going to give you value of your home, make sure it's priced correctly, and maybe do some, or maybe notice something like as far as what is some lender required repairs, like a broken window,
right,
peeling paint, something that's very obvious. Okay, as the house has to be livable. That's the appraiser's job. A home inspector is going to really take into depth the defects and the cosmetic issues that a home might have. So what would that be?
Let me ask you guys this. What has been the craziest thing that you've seen on either an inspection report or there at the inspection? What's been like, this is major, this is just, I didn't know that.
Wow. What would be one of the craziest things that I've seen? Craziest thing. Let me think back. A foundation. I think I've seen a foundation crack. It's been a foundation. Yeah. And you can see it through a tile. The tile you see it crack right down the middle of the home. Even the cabinet was a little off because it cracked.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that was pretty crazy. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Nothing, I guess, too crazy in my eyes, but I've had inspection reports to their like 40 plus pages. And then I have inspections to where they're like 10 pages.
Yeah.
And it kind of freaks the buyers out. They're like, oh, I'm going to just go with it. Let's go one by one, see what it is, especially the resale home. So,
yeah. So that's the biggest part. If we're talking about appraisal and inspections, our buyers or the buyers out there think that because they're getting a loan, they're having it financed, and the mortgage said we're going to send an appraiser out there to inspect the house. They're only inspecting the house to protect the lender. They're not protecting the buyer in any way, in any shape or form.
correct.
So the appraiser is done to protect the lender, to make sure that it is valued correctly, and that since they're going to be loaning the money to the buyer, say it's $265,000, they want to make sure that it's worth $265,000. First, with the value, and second, with the condition of the home.
Right.
The inspection is now done by like I said, an inspector that's licensed to do home inspections.
Yeah, and that's why he's a third party.
He's a third party, exactly. So he's a third party person that's going to walk the roof. He's going to run the water. He's going to check the stove. He's going to turn the stove on, put it at 350, and he's got a thermometer in there to make sure that it's 350. He's going to check for any broken tiles, broken windows, making sure that the windows open. Make sure the door's closed and it latches, right? And it's going to latch to make sure it locks. Hail damage, you'll check for hail damage. That's a big one.
It's pretty neat to go. I recommend you take your buyers out there, remember, because they're going to live in this home. So go out there, see what the inspector's going to do.
Exactly.
It's going to be your home, and just kind of learn as much as you possibly can. Ask questions that they're willing to help.
Yeah. So some inspectors just know what to do. They're in and out. It takes them about maybe 2 hours to do a complete home inspection, but they're doing multiple things at the same time. They're running the water, running the oven, They got the air conditioner on. They're going to point that little laser thing that's going to give them a temperature. While they're walking the roof, taking pictures, they go back to their computer and they're typing in whatever they need to type in. And by the end of the day, they provide a 45-page report on all the defects of this beautiful home that they want to.
Correct.
This home's got all these defects.
Yep.
So is it a really deal breaker when they got all these defects?
Because minor cosmetics, no. That's wear and tear. That can be
Exactly.
that can be worked on.
Missing grout is going to
Missing
be on
grout.
there. Missing a small tile got chipped.
Yeah.
Door that's not latching 100%. You know, there's something called settling, right? A home does settle, so the home is going to move. You're going to get hairline cracks on the stucco.
Cracks, yeah.
You're going to get hairline cracks on the concrete. You're going to get hairline cracks on anything. You know, rock wall is going to. Yeah, it's going to get all that.
Even if the carpet is pulled out a little bit, they note it as a defect.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's because the buyers are paying all this money to the inspector. The inspector's got a job to do, so turn in a report of all the stuff that's wrong with the house.
Correct.
So yeah. So what are some of the things that you should be fixing right away?
Missing smoke detectors if there's not smoke detectors or the batteries aren't in there. There's one window, paint.
Safety. You know, you got to think about the safety of the buyers, and they have children. They're going to be in a room. If something were to happen, you know, God forbid, but something were to happen like a fire, there's got to be the detector's got to sound off to wake everybody up so that they can get out of the house in time. So carbon monoxide is a silent killer, so they got to make sure they have the carbon monoxide detectors.
Even rooms with windows, they got to make sure that they have access to open the window.
They have to open no wrought iron.
If it has wrought iron,
Unless they have the push bar,
the push bar.
right? They got to be able to latch it open.
Right.
If not, they got to put that on or remove the wrought iron covers. What are some of the other ones? Maybe
homes with posts.
So that's a good one. So not all inspectors are trained to do inspections for swimming pools.
Correct.
So you may want to hire somebody that is
The full
qualified
inspector.
Full inspector.
full inspector. So yeah, so you got to make sure that there's no cracks in the swimming pool. Gas that has gas line and there's a heater.
Correct.
So yeah, so there's all kinds of stuff that you can get by, but there's some safety issues like maybe a gas leak on the water heater, gas leak on the heater itself. AC is super expensive. You gotta make sure that if it's got refrigerated air that it works correctly and just got enough Freon or Puron now. So
What about termites? Inspect.
there you go. That's a good one. So you got to get a termite inspection as well. So appraisers do not check for termites, right? So you got to get a termite inspector. That normally is really reasonable. It's like $100 to have a termite inspection.
$200, yeah. I had a listing a couple years ago. Where I had a seller and they had termites.
Oh wow!
They found termites in the home, so they had the regular third-party inspector go out there, and then the buyers had termite inspector go out there.
Okay.
And they found termites.
Wow.
So helping to fumigate it, treat it,
Right.
and that was another negotiating thing that we had to go.
Yeah, because that's expensive. That's over $1,000 to get that.
Like
treatment.
it was like $1,600. Who's gonna pay for that?
Exactly. So you got to do it. Yeah, it's worth paying the $80 to $100 to get that inspected and make sure that there's no wood destroying insects eating up the inside of your home.
Correct.
So yeah, and you don't think that would be relative here in Paso because there's no rain, there's no moisture, but there are termites.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you have wood, any type of wood around or touching your home or your foundation of your home or garden, get rid of those. Get rid of
Exactly.
Get rid of any wood that's around that's touching your home. Get it away from your house because if it's dead wood, it's going to be. Get rid of it.
Yeah.
Even if you have that report,
Yeah.
if you don't want to ask for too many things, you have that report for later in time.
Yeah. Now you can get it fixed later on.
Exactly. I thought that piece of report is cold. So when you call somebody to come fix your home months, year down the road, you can tell them, hey, this is what happened. This is what they have. So it makes it easier for your heading.
Good. So the main difference is appraisals are going to do value and any lender required repairs. That's very obvious. And a home inspector is going to do their due diligence and making sure that the house, or they're not going to do their due diligence, they're going to point out every single defect and cosmetic issue with the house and turn that into you as the buyer. And the buyers gets to say, okay, well, I want everything fixed, or I'm okay, I'm a handyman. I'll be able to get through it with only fixing or have the seller fix only a certain amount of items.
Correct. That's right.
All right, guys. Well, thank you all. That's the difference between an appraisal and an inspection. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And if there's anything else you'd like for us to talk about, feel free to comment below, give us a call. And if you have anybody looking to buy or sell, hey, we'd love to have the opportunity to take care of your buyers and your sellers, or buying your home or helping you sell your.
Yes, indeed. We'll see you guys.
Good one.
Yeah.